After 3 years of winning over the obsessive female lead, my mission was complete. The night I left, Gu Qinghan's eyes were red-rimmed. She clutched my sleeve tightly. "Brother, you said you'd never abandon me." I panicked at once. That happened to be the night Gu Qinghan came of age. So I lied, saying I was going to prepare her coming-of-age ceremony. Then, while she wasn't looking, I left without a word. 5 years later, I suddenly blacked out at a banquet. When I woke up, Gu Qinghan was leisurely tying me up with a silk scarf. Her smile was twisted and obsessive. "It's been 5 years. When will you give me my coming-of-age gift, brother?" "Mission complete. Preparing to send you back." Amid that cold mechanical voice, my soul slowly began to leave my body, but someone still gripped my arm tightly. Gu Qinghan's eyes were red-rimmed. Stubbornly, she refused to let go. "Brother, are you trying to abandon me?" Her voice trembled, stripped of its usual calm. All that remained was undisguised panic. Seeing Gu Qinghan like this, a sharp pain stabbed through my heart. Today was her birthday. I'd promised her a surprise. Just 3 minutes ago, Gu Qinghan had blushed and whispered, "No matter what gift you prepared, brother, I'll love it." Her eyes brimmed with sincere, burning affection. "After tonight, I'll be an adult. Then it'll be my turn to protect you, brother." I closed my eyes. Bitterness filled my heart. None of that could ever happen now. After all, the moment I transmigrated into this novel, I was told Gu Qinghan was this world's cherished female lead, while I was merely a disposable supporting character. My mission was to protect Gu Qinghan as she grew, then ultimately hand her over to the male lead. Now, 3 years had passed. The male lead was about to appear, which meant I had to disappear. I took a deep breath, pretending to stay calm. "Let go," Gu Qinghan stubbornly said. "No." Even her voice had turned hoarse. "Brother, you said you wouldn't leave me. You said so." She repeated it over and over. "You said so." Just then, the system urgently pressed me. "Host, you need to leave now. The male and female leads are about to meet for the first time. You cannot be there." I wanted to leave too, but Gu Qinghan was the female lead. After all, she held on to me with all her strength, somehow preventing me from fully leaving this world. Then I had no choice. The next moment, I leaned close to Gu Qinghan's face. There was barely any distance between us. Our soft breaths mingled around us, intimate and tender. "What are you imagining now? Brother isn't abandoning you. I just want to prepare a little surprise for your coming-of-age ceremony." Gu Qinghan's body instantly went rigid. "What?" I gently took her hand. "But, since you're so impatient, I can let you see your gift early." Just as expected, Gu Qinghan was so easily flustered by my teasing. The tips of her ears flushed bright red, and she began to stammer. What kind of a surprise?" I lowered my head and kissed her hand. The kiss was feather-light and fleeting, but Gu Qinghan reacted as if burned. She instinctively pulled back the hand gripping me. She stared at me blankly. "Brother." But the next instant, the light that had just kindled in Gu Qinghan's eyes went out, because the moment she released me, I vanished completely. I left behind only one final sentence. "I'm sorry. I lied to you." I saw disbelief cover Gu Qinghan's face. Pain and madness surged into her eyes in an instant. She reached out, as if trying to seize me. But the next moment, my vision sank into darkness. I knew I had left the world of the novel. I sighed, though it was cruel. Gu Qinghan and I would never meet again. Better to crush her hopes before I left. Only then could she give up on me and devote herself to the male lead. In the original novel, the male lead was named Jiang. His name suited him. He was warm and comforting, kind and understanding. He was the one destined to be by Gu Qinghan's side for life. After finishing this mission, I was given 5 years of leave. I lay on a soft, large bed and slowly closed my eyes. I had to forget this experience and bury all those feelings I shouldn't have. Only then could I focus fully on my next mission. But the second I closed my eyes, Gu Qinghan's final expression rose before me again. It was nothing like her usual sweetness. Her eyes were full of despair and madness, chilling me to the bone. That look reminded me of the first time I saw her. Gu Qinghan had just been sold by her biological parents. Covered in blood, the girl lay in an auction cage. Loose strands of hair hung over her forehead, making her look lonely and fragile. The guests whispered among themselves. What were the organizers thinking? Why put a dying child up for auction? Apparently, her parents needed money for gambling, so they sold their own daughter. My God. That child is badly injured. She is quite pitiful. There must be something awful about anyone so pitiful. For her parents to sell her, she's probably some damn bastard. Under all those calculating gazes, Gu Qinghan was like a damaged commodity, judged and speculated about from every angle. Yet her face remained blank. She didn't even raise her eyes, as though she had long grown used to such malice. As time passed, not one person was willing to bid on Gu Qinghan. The auctioneer's expression grew increasingly grim. "Are you sure none of you will reconsider? If no one is willing to buy her, we can only destroy the merchandise." Just then, I hurried over, clutching a stack of cash. Wait, I'll buy her. That was when I first realized just how much of a disposable side character I was. Whether it was my character setup or my wealth, I had absolutely nothing. After searching every nook and cranny for nearly 10 minutes and spending nearly all my savings, I barely scraped together the opening bid. So, before everyone's eyes, I awkwardly took Gu Qinghan home. At least I'd saved her. But another problem arose. I had no idea how to raise her. Like an injured wolf cub, the girl stood warily and coldly at the door, refusing to come inside. She seemed unresponsive, but I could feel how tense she was. Her eyes were fixed tightly on me. Her stare made me uncomfortable all over. I could only force out a dry line. Hello, my name is Gu Xingheng. She still gave no response. I felt a little awkward, but I understood. After all, in the original novel, Gu Qinghan had been tortured by her biological parents for 15 years. It was only natural that she was guarded. Thinking of that, my heart softened. My words grew more sincere, too. From now on, I am your family. You do not have to be so guarded around me. Gu Qinghan finally raised her head. Her eyes were dark as ink. She spoke for the first time that night. What is the catch? I froze. Gu Qinghan was on full alert. What do you want in return for saving me? The heroine was truly the heroine. A few words from her left me speechless. I could not tell her I approached her to complete the system's mission, could I? So I gently patted her head. Call me brother. Now it was Gu Qinghan's turn to freeze. What? I mean, you are younger than me. Is it not only right for an adult to save a child? What could I possibly ask in return? A mischievous smile curled my lips. But if you want me to stay by your side, call me brother and let me hear it. All right. After all, I had just emptied my savings. Just so a future titan, who would one day wield immense power, could call me brother a few times. That is not too much to ask, is it? In the night, the girl's earlobes flushed faintly red. After a long moment, as if she had been teased, she awkwardly forced out two words. Brother. I laughed without a care. But later, because of that one word, brother, I risked my life to protect her for 3 years. From then on, Gu Qinghan stayed by my side. According to the original novel, Gu Qinghan was meant to endure many dark events during those 3 years. Life would have made her cold and ruthless at a young age, with brutal, obsessive methods. So I deliberately went against the original plot. As if I knew the future, I led Gu Qinghan away from countless future dangers and kept her safe. Though it was terrifying, we always escaped unharmed. Gu Qinghan changed greatly, too. She was no longer gloomy and withdrawn. Instead, she slowly grew into an exceptional, gentle, and well-mannered woman. Whenever she looked at me, her beautiful, slightly upturned eyes always filled with undisguised warmth. Again and again, she would call in my ear in a soft, sweet voice, brother, until shivers ran through me. My thoughts slowly returned to the day I left. 3 years later, Gu Qinghan's final look was utterly unlike the woman in my memories. A sudden, inexplicable dread gripped my heart. After being betrayed by the person closest to her, how did Gu Qinghan feel? Despair or resentment? I jolted awake from my dream, drenched in cold sweat. Instinctively, I called out to the system. System, how is Gu Qinghan now? The system paused. You mean the heroine from the last world? She does not seem to be doing well. Her emotions have been spiraling out of control. My heart clenched, but the system reassured me. This is normal, though. That is how it happened in the original plot. At her darkest moment, the heroine met Jiang Han, the male lead, like a saving grace. Then she fell madly in love with Jiang Han. Betrayed before, Gu Qinghan felt desperately insecure. She even imprisoned Jiang Han for a time. But, in the end, with Jiang Han by her side, she overcame the demons in her heart. The two spent the rest of their lives together. Only then did I breathe a sigh of relief. The ending had already been decided. What was there left for me to worry about? But later, I realized how terribly wrong I had been. If I had noticed sooner, the obsession in Gu Qinghan's gaze when she looked at me, the excitement, even the sickness, would I have realized she was a madwoman skilled at hiding her true nature. Someone like her would never be led around by the plot, and that so-called ending had long since gone off the rails. What? I could hardly believe my ears. 5 years had passed. I had already finished my long vacation and was about to begin my next mission. Yet the system hesitantly told me Gu Qinghan's corruption level had skyrocketed. The male lead had failed to win her over. The plot had collapsed beyond repair, and the world was about to explode. The system spoke quietly, without much confidence. Host, Jiang Han failed. You have to take his place and win Gu Qinghan over. Why did you not tell me sooner? You are sending me back after I completely betrayed her? Is that not asking me to die? I could not imagine how deeply my betrayal must have devastated Gu Qinghan, for her corruption level to skyrocket, and now I had to go back and win her over? I recalled the plot, and my heart went cold. 5 years later, Gu Qinghan was now 23. According to the original story, her power, wealth, and methods had all reached their peak. She was cruel, ruthless, extreme, and obsessive. For me to face her now was like a nobody taking on a max-level boss. I shook my head again and again, refusing the system. But the system burst into tears. Host, I am begging you. The last world was under our responsibility. If it is destroyed, we will be erased too. Left with no choice, I returned to Gu Qinghan's world. The system said. Gu Qinghan was attending an auction at that moment, so I teleported directly to the venue. After I finally accepted the situation, I looked around, only to find everyone wearing custom-made masks. This had to be a secret auction for high society. Everyone wore masks. So, how was I supposed to recognize Gu Qinghan? Just as I was inwardly cursing the system for being useless, the red curtain on stage slowly drew open. It revealed a painting. In just a few rough strokes, it depicted a sleeping girl's face. At the sight, confused murmurs filled the room. I, too, stared in disbelief. Not because it was some breathtaking masterpiece, but because I had painted that portrait of Gu Qinghan 10 years ago. When Gu Qinghan had first moved into my home, her headaches kept her awake every night. Her parents had injected her with heavy doses of sedatives, and the after effects had not fully faded. So, I took her to the hospital for intravenous treatment. Every night, I would softly tell her childish stories, or hum songs to lull her to sleep. Over time, Gu Qinghan went from resisting at first to being able to sleep lightly. This painting was one I painted while she slept. When she woke up, I gave it to her. I hope you have sweet dreams every day from now on. The girl's earlobes reddened slightly. Pressing her lips together, she accepted the painting. But I never expected, after all these twists and turns, to see it again at an auction 10 years later. The people below exchanged puzzled glances. Clearly, they had no idea what made the painting valuable. Of course they did not. I did not know either. And I was the artist. 10 million. Just then, a clear, cool voice rang out. Gasps rose throughout the room. Every gaze turned in one direction. I froze instantly. Wait, was that not Gu Qinghan's voice? And it had come from right beside me. Stiffly, I looked to my side. There sat a woman in a couture gown, reclining sideways in her seat. She was regal and aloof. A silver mask made her even more mysterious. She radiated a clear warning. Keep away. My heart began to race. I had raised Gu Qinghan for 3 years. There was no way I could mistake her. This was definitely Gu Qinghan. So, I had wronged the system. It was not unreliable. It was too reliable. It had teleported me directly into the seat beside Gu Qinghan. Perhaps my expression was too shocked, because the woman beside me slightly turned her head and met my gaze. The instant our eyes met, her dark, obsessive gaze clung to me, burning me to ashes like fire. Her familiar voice sounded beside my ear, still soft and tender. Brother. It was clearly a gentle word, yet cold sweat broke out on my skin. Gu Qinghan recognized me. Should I not? What should I say? And how could I explain why I left back then? Under that crushing tension, my throat was too dry to speak. Ahan, a bright male voice, suddenly rang out, cutting through my thoughts. Only then did I notice a young man seated to my left. He wore a pure white suit. His mask had simple lines, making him seem all the more gentle and refined. Ahan, the auctioneer is asking you to come up. Do not just sit there. That intimate tone was like a bucket of cold water, instantly bringing me to my senses. This was Jiang Han. In the original story, only Jiang Han dared call her Ahan. The Gu Qinghan everyone feared. If that was the case, then Gu Qinghan's earlier brother probably was not directed at me either. After all, I was still wearing a mask. She should not have recognized me. She must have been calling Jiang Han beside me. Sure enough, after hearing Jiang Han, Gu Qinghan merely gave a faint hum, then withdrew her gaze. She rose and walked toward the stage. Only then did I quietly let out a breath. But beneath that relief, an inexplicable flicker of disappointment rose within me. This would not do. Never mind winning Gu Qinghan over. At this point, even one look from her was more guilt than I could bear. I secretly tapped the system and whispered, do I really have to do this mission? I think Jiang Han has done a pretty good job winning her over. Gu Qinghan does not look corrupted either. Before I could finish, the system anxiously cut me off. Host, stop talking. Hurry and do your mission. The heroine's corruption level is still rising. Its voice was unusually frantic. The heroine planted explosive devices throughout the auction hall long ago. When the time comes, she will clutch this painting and perish in the flames along with everyone else. I jerked my head up. On stage, Gu Qinghan remained cool as jade, graceful and impeccably poised. Yet she was toying with the fountain pen. At that moment, my breath stopped. The system said that pen was the trigger. Gu Qinghan absolutely could not press it. Yet Gu Qinghan dared, before everyone, to openly display her murder weapon. She really was insane. Frantically, I considered how to take that pen from her. But Gu Qinghan on stage merely smiled with serene composure. Standing before applause and cameras, she casually removed her mask. A wave of startled cries erupted below. Isn't that President Gu? Gu Qinghan actually attended the auction herself. I thought she was incredibly busy with business. Oh my god, she is even more beautiful in person than in photos. Amid the various exclamations, the auctioneer cautiously stepped forward to interview her. Ms. Gu, why were you willing to spend a fortune on this painting? Under everyone's curious gaze, Gu Qinghan spoke calmly. My husband painted this for me. I stared at the stage in disbelief, but Gu Qinghan's expression did not change. She looked as though she were sincerely declaring her love for her husband. The room instantly exploded in shrieks and commotion. Gu Qinghan is married. Was she not supposed to remain unmarried for her one true love? Why did she change her mind? You have read too many novels. What successful woman lets emotions rule her? Though I heard she is close to the eldest son of the Jiang family, there must be something going on between them. As they spoke, some secretly cast envious looks toward Jiang Han, but Jiang Han only forced a smile, offering no answer. As for me, it was as if I had been struck by lightning. I remained frozen for a long while. When did I marry Gu Qinghan? The auctioneer clearly had not expected Gu Qinghan to actually answer his question. His face reddened with excitement. After all, Gu Qinghan was always aloof and guarded. She never gave interviews, so he hurriedly pressed his advantage and asked, "But I heard you have always been single, Ms. Gu." Gu Qinghan said, "I am not single. My husband and I have a wonderful relationship. From the moment we first met at an auction, I fell in love with him at first sight." That had to be a lie. I recalled saving Gu Qinghan at that auction, and the look in her eyes. It had been dark and bottomless, and she called that love at first sight. The auctioneer continued, "Is your husband here with you now?" Gu Qinghan's cold gaze fell upon me. Though we were far apart, I instinctively knew she was looking at me. He ran away. Before the auctioneer's stunned eyes, Gu Qinghan curled her lips. "But it is all right. I have already found him." As she spoke, her slender fingers picked up the pen, toying with it carelessly. The system instantly sounded a piercing alarm. The heroine's corruption level has reached maximum. The heroine is about to detonate the venue. Host, stop her immediately. At that moment, I could not think about anything else. I stood up and shouted, "Do not move." Just as I hoped, Gu Qinghan's hand did stop, but her gaze locked completely onto my face. Her eyes were deep and dark, as if she were suppressing a surge of violent, twisted emotion. Her lips silently formed the words, "Got you." After the auction ended, the evening banquet began. I changed into the plainest formal wear I could find, and hid in the most inconspicuous corner of the crowd. My mind was still in a daze. After Gu Qinghan discovered me, she did not do anything extreme as I had expected. She merely walked down from the stage calmly, and returned to her original seat, which was beside mine. Neither of us said a word. I felt like I was sitting on pins and needles. My palms were slick with nervous sweat. I did not take in a single thing at the auction. All I could think about was, after the auction ended, what I should say to Gu Qinghan. It has been a long time. Have you been well these past years? But if she had suffered, it was entirely because of me. My thoughts were a complete mess. I finally came up with a few ways to greet her. But the moment the auction ended, Gu Qinghan was swept away by a crowd of elite guests. I stared blankly at her retreating figure. Tall and poised, she radiated elegance and nobility. Only then did I realize Gu Qinghan was no longer the child I had known 5 years ago. She was now a rising powerhouse in the business world. Why would she still let me summon her at will and dismiss her whenever I pleased? As I stood at the banquet, the system urged me again. Host, your mission is to win over the heroine, not assassinate her. How will you get close to her while hiding in a corner? With a headache, I cut it off. Give me a moment. I get nervous whenever I see Gu Qinghan. There is no way I can win her over like this. Besides, I looked up. Gu Qinghan stood in the center of the hall, clinking glasses with aristocrats and celebrities from every circle. She was calm and composed, yet utterly out of reach. She and I were no longer in the same league. Could I really still win her over? "Excuse me, sir." "Hello." A warm, gentle voice suddenly sounded beside me. That brought me back to my senses. Jiang Han stood before me, dressed in splendid formal wear, with a faint smile on his face. He got straight to the point. "You are here on a mission to like me, aren't you?" I was startled. In the original novel, I was only a disposable supporting male character. I barely had any presence at all. How had he recognized me? Jiang Han seemed to notice my wariness. He explained, "We are both here on missions. You would have received a prompt upon entering this world. Besides, Gu Qinghan, he abruptly stopped mid-sentence. He changed the subject. "You have heard, right? I have never succeeded in winning her over. This world is on the verge of collapsing. That is why the system urgently sent you here." I nodded hesitantly. "Still, though I have not succeeded, I have been here for 5 years. I know Gu Qinghan somewhat." Jiang Han raised his glass to me and smiled sincerely. "For the rest of your mission, I will help you complete it." That was an unexpected surprise. After all, having a friend opens doors. So I thanked him politely, then took the glass and drank a sip. That sealed our alliance. Jiang Han took my arm. "Come on, I will introduce you to a few influential ladies." Before he could finish, the room suddenly fell silent. The crowd parted to both sides, clearing a path. Gu Qinghan strolled toward me without haste. "Darling, It is time to go home. I was dumbfounded. What was that supposed to mean? Jiang Han's expression stiffened. Qinghan, but this gentleman just agreed to come with me. Gu Qinghan shot him a cold glance. I have been separated from my husband for 5 years. Now, even if I want a moment with him, I need an outsider's permission. Jiang Han went pale at that. Sweat slid down his forehead. No, you do not. Seeing that, my guilt grew even stronger. What had Gu Qinghan done these past 5 years to frighten Jiang Han this badly? She treated even Jiang Han like this. What would she do to me? Was she planning to assassinate me? When Gu Qinghan saw that I was not moving, she stepped forward and took my hand. We are leaving. I did not dare resist. I could only follow stiffly behind her. Everyone's eyes moved among me. Gu Qinghan and Jiang Han. Everyone present was skilled at reading a room. After a brief stunned pause, they immediately began playing along. So this is the husband President Gu mentioned. He is truly handsome. Brother-in-law's formal wear. Well, it is truly simple yet elegant. He looks like a thrifty man who knows how to run a home. 5 years of long-distance love. And your relationship is still so strong. How enviable. I was speechless. Thank you. But if you cannot praise me, you do not have to. Also, Gu Qinghan looked absolutely dreadful right now, like she held a bitter grudge against me. How could they possibly see a loving relationship? As I grumbled inwardly, a sudden, unexplainable dizziness struck me. My legs instantly gave way, and I fell straight toward the floor. Fortunately, Gu Qinghan caught me quickly and pulled me into her arms. Before I lost consciousness, I saw Gu Qinghan's face turn livid, her eyes brimming with vicious fury. What had happened? When I woke, my head spun and my body burned. An unhurried voice sounded. You are awake. Only then did I notice Gu Qinghan sitting beside the bed, her head tilted as she watched me. Her collar hung half open, revealing her delicate collarbones and smooth lines. She looked languid and carefree. After just one glance, my head felt even hotter. I quickly looked away. Where am I? My home? Your home. I repeated it blankly. Why did you bring me to your home? Gu Qinghan had been idly playing with a shoulder strap. At my question, she paused. Brother, have you forgotten something? She leaned down with a gentle but irresistible force and bound my arms with the strap. I was shocked. Gu Qinghan, what are you doing? I instinctively tried to struggle, but the strange heat left my entire body weak. I could barely move. Under the dim lights, Gu Qinghan examined the knot binding my arms, as though she were studying an unopened gift. Brother, she said in a low, husky voice. It has been 5 years. When will you give me the coming-of-age gift you promised? My body instantly froze. A coming-of-age gift? Was that not the excuse I had casually made up? When I left 5 years ago, I never imagined Gu Qinghan had taken it seriously, or remembered it all this time. Feeling guilty, I spoke softly. Well, a smile curved Gu Qinghan's lips. I know you are so good to me, brother. You must be hiding my gift on you somewhere. As she spoke, her slender fingers slid down my collar. Let me guess. Could it be here? I was already burning for no reason. After that teasing touch, it was like pouring oil on a fire. Anger surged through me. I grabbed Gu Qinghan by the collar and kissed her fiercely. In that moment, all the repression and hurt of those years, and all my rage finally found an outlet. When that chaotic kiss ended, I gave her the same wicked smile I had 5 years ago. This coming-of-age gift from brother. Are you satisfied? I had only meant to discuss Gu Qinghan, but instead, her gaze grew even darker. Breathing unevenly, Gu Qinghan leaned close again. She murmured softly, I want a little more. Just then, urgent knocking suddenly sounded at the door. President Gu, are you there? Mr. Jiang Han is here. He says he wants to see you. Gu Qinghan looked terrible at the interruption, but when she heard Jiang Han's name, she stopped what she was doing. A cold curve touched her lips. Perfect. I have business with him too. Something about that tone was terrifying. As Gu Qinghan got out of bed to leave, I hurriedly shook the strap around my arms at her. Wait, have you forgotten this? It is about time you untied me, right? The faint, suggestive flush on Gu Qinghan's earlobes had not faded, yet she gave me an innocent smile. No, she sounded like she was coaxing a disobedient child. It is dangerous outside. At last night's banquet, you left my sight for 2 minutes and someone drugged you. So, you should stay by my side from now on. Gu Qinghan had imprisoned me. My hands were bound, and the door was locked. In a foul mood, I sat back on the bed. System, have a way to get me out. To my surprise, the system answered cheerfully. Why leave at all? Host, do you know Gu Qinghan's corruption level has dropped by 40 points? According to my research, whenever you get a little closer to her, her corruption level drops a little. There is no longer any risk of this world collapsing. A flicker of delight crossed Gu Qinghan's eyes, but she still defended herself earnestly. I'm not angry. How could I possibly be angry with you? I laughed. What are you talking about? Have you really never been angry with me? Never. My voice softened. When I left last time, how did you feel? Neither of us said which time I meant, but we both understood. Gu Qinghan looked up at me. Her eyes were filled with sincerity. Of course, I was worried about you. I froze. But she continued, "You suddenly vanished before my eyes that day. Other than worrying myself nearly insane, I was not angry at you at all. What else could I have felt?" My eyes suddenly stung. "But I lied to you when I left. Doesn't that make you angry?" That question had weighed on me for a long time, like a poisoned thorn buried deep in my heart. Every time I saw Gu Qinghan, guilt consumed me, so I could not help taking this chance to ask Gu Qinghan, pretending to be calm. As I waited uneasily for her answer, a warm touch suddenly brushed my eyelids. Gu Qinghan kissed my eyes, which had reddened without my noticing. Her voice was impossibly gentle. "I'm not angry. Whether you lied to me or not, the person who first pulled me from the mud was truly you. The fact that you were willing to come to this world and save me already makes me so happy." At last, my tears fell, but this time my heart did not hurt. Instead, an unprecedented bittersweet warmth surged through it. I wiped my tears, okay. Then I moved aside, revealing the exquisite cake hidden behind me. Gu Qinghan went still. I gently brushed my fingers over its 24 candles. Then I said earnestly, "Gu Qinghan, happy birthday. I never forgot that today is your birthday." Seeing Gu Qinghan take so long to recover, I smiled and teased her. "What is it? You do not like this gift?" Gu Qinghan finally lifted her head. In the candlelight's warm glow, the grown woman before me had features blurred at the edges. For an instant, it was as though we had returned years into the past. The regret left unfinished at that coming-of-age celebration was finally made whole in this moment. The 18-year-old girl's eyes overflowed with love. Across time, she said, "No, I really like it." The next moment, she softly added, "And I really like you too." She said nothing else, but a faint mist clouded her eyes. They stared at me without blinking, like bottomless pools of ink, luring me to fall into their depths. "Brother, why were you so kind to me back then?" The question came too suddenly, leaving me frozen in place. But Gu Qinghan kept speaking. "I have thought about it for 8 years, and I still do not understand. When I was at my lowest, only you chose to stay by my side and protect me. But once I became an adult, when I had the power to protect you, you deceived me and left again." Her voice began to tremble. "Do you only like seeing me miserable?" Gu Qinghan wore that humble, pleading look again, just as she had when she watched me leave. My heart gave an uncontrollable, violent lurch. Perhaps she was still deeply intoxicated. Gu Qinghan took my hand and gently rubbed her cheek against it, obedient as a little kitten. "But none of that matters. You can think of me as a madwoman. You can think of me as something to amuse yourself with. I only beg you not to leave me." Her eyes rimmed with red. "Brother, please take pity on me." Perhaps it was a side effect of the antidote, but my heart melted completely. I knew Gu Qinghan had liked me 8 years ago, but I never expected her love to endure for so long. After enduring my betrayal and 5 lonely years, she still loved me as she always had. Bittersweet emotion filled my heart. If only I weren't a mission runner. If I had stayed with her through those 5 years, perhaps she would not have become so obsessive and extreme, so terrified of losing me. I slept restlessly that night. Perhaps it was the medicine, or perhaps the memories, that left my eyes wet. Half asleep, I felt Gu Qinghan wrap her arms around me. Her body was warm against mine. I felt her gently patting my head, murmuring soft comforts, just as I had once done for her. I heard her say, "Brother, I hope you have sweet dreams from now on." Ring, ring, ring. The notification sounded especially piercing in the dead of night. I frowned in irritation and woke from my dream. Gu Qinghan was still asleep. Her long lashes lay still against her closed eyes, their outlines softened by moonlight. For a moment, she seemed like the girl from 8 years ago. Moving quietly, I tried to silence my phone, afraid of waking her. But after searching around, I could not find my phone. Then I realized the sound was coming from the system in my mind. Jiang Han, another mission runner, is requesting a conversation. Accept. I fell silent. Earlier, Jiang Han had taken my hand and said he would help me, but I was drugged shortly afterward. If Gu Qinghan had not brought me home, I would probably be unconscious somewhere right now. And during that time, the only drink I had was the wine Jiang Han gave me. Cautiously, I accepted his request. Whatever he was trying to do, I would deal with it as it came. Gu Xingheng, I found a way for us to leave. Jiang Han's clear voice was brimming with joy, almost shrill with it. I was stunned. Leave where? Of course. Jiang Han gave a soft laugh. Leave this world, where we have to win her over. But if this world collapses, will we not be erased? That is why I found a way to leave for good. We can sever our ties to this world. I will be waiting at 36 Wutong Road. Before I could answer, Jiang Han's voice cut off. After the call ended, I could not recover my senses for a long time. 36 Wutong Road. That was the home Gu Qinghan and I used to share. Why was Jiang Han meeting me there? What exactly did he want? Unease made my heart pound wildly. I decided to go to Wutong Road and see for myself, then tell Jiang Han that I would not go back. I did not want to abandon Gu Qinghan again. Glancing at the sleeping woman beside me, I moved more slowly and carefully made my way downstairs. Darkness blanketed the villa. It was so quiet, I could have heard a pin drop. When I reached the front door, I placed my hand on the handle. Brother, a familiar voice suddenly sounded behind me. I spun around. Gu Qinghan, who had been in bed moments ago, had awakened at some point. She leaned against the foot of the stairs, staring at me without blinking. Her gaze was unfathomably deep, churning with the storm about to break. Are you leaving me again? My heart suddenly quickened. I had no intention of leaving this time. But when I met Gu Qinghan's eyes, I still felt inexplicably guilty. No, I just wanted to go for a walk. Gu Qinghan stepped toward me, one slow step at a time. Then why did you sneak downstairs behind my back? She even knew that. That meant, when I came downstairs just now, Gu Qinghan had not been asleep at all. She had coldly watched me leave the room, walk downstairs, and head for the exit. I could not even imagine how Gu Qinghan must have felt then. Facing Gu Qinghan's reddened eyes, I was unusually at a loss. Believe me, this time is different from last time. I will come back. Qinghan drew a quiet breath. I saw her hands clenched tightly, as though she were desperately holding something back. Just when I thought she was about to break, she suddenly said in a trembling voice, "All right." I looked up in disbelief, and found Gu Qinghan gazing deeply at me. "Before you go, won't you give me a goodbye kiss?" The request was sudden, but impossible to refuse. Just as I rose onto my toes to kiss Gu Qinghan, she suddenly covered my mouth with her hand. "Wait." Her voice trembled. "Promise me first that you will come back this time." I was a little confused, but when I met those pain-filled eyes, my heart jolted. That look, it was the same look she had when I was forced to leave 5 years ago. That day, I tricked Gu Qinghan into letting me kiss her, then turned and left. Gu Qinghan must have remembered that day too. She must have feared I would do the same thing again. A kiss, followed by a departure with no return in sight. So I gently stroked her head to comfort her. "I promise you, I will definitely come back this time." After taking a deep breath, I added, "Be good and wait for me at home. When I return, there is something else I want to tell you." The words, "I like you," from 5 years ago, had remained buried in my heart because of the mission. Now, 5 years later, since Gu Qinghan still loved me, I did not want to miss my chance with her again. After saying that, "You came." Dressed in white, Jiang approached me with a smile. "I knew you would come." How could anyone sent to win her over-tolerate Gu Qinghan? Someone like her is unstable and extreme. "No." I cut him off calmly. "I came to tell you, I am not leaving." Jiang's smile froze. After a long moment, he finally spoke. "Gu Xingheng, the day you arrived, Gu Qinghan's corruption level reached its peak. She wanted to set the entire auction ablaze. You have not forgotten, have you?" I nodded. "And you still want to stay by her side? She is obviously insane." Hearing that, I raised my head with certainty. She would never do that. My thoughts returned to the day I arrived. I secretly took the pen Gu Qinghan used as a detonator, but after the system examined it, the pen was not a trigger at all. It was a self-destruct device. Its power was only enough to kill one person. Though I did not know why Gu Qinghan had done it, the truth was clear, from beginning to end. Even on the day her corruption level was at its highest, the most extreme thing she ever considered was killing herself. She had never harmed an innocent person. It was at that moment that I realized the so-called original plot had blinded me. My preconceived notions had made me instinctively believe Gu Qinghan had become obsessive and deranged, a cruel and terrifying woman. But from the moment the system told me the pen was a self-destruct device, I suddenly understood. Perhaps Gu Qinghan had never changed. She had always been that sincere, passionate girl who, during the 5 years I was gone, carried her shattered love as she walked on alone. Jiang fell silent. "If you do not want to leave, I cannot force you." But he lifted his eyes and stared at me. "This is the last chance to leave." Gu Qinghan's corruption level surged before, and the entire world nearly collapsed. Now the world is gradually stabilizing. Only this place still has major fluctuations. It is the only exit we can use to escape. Think it through. The world will fully repair itself tonight. If you do not leave, you will have to remain by Gu Qinghan's side forever. With that, Jiang stared steadily at me, seemingly certain I would leave with him. But I only noticed one thing he said. "Why did this place have the strongest fluctuations?" This place, 36 Wutong Road, was clearly the home Gu Qinghan and I once shared. Jiang did not answer. Under the moonlight, I saw that his eyes were slightly red. Then he suddenly said, for no apparent reason, "Gu Xingheng, sometimes I truly hate you." I froze. I am the male lead chosen by fate. I was supposed to be the one to heal Gu Qinghan. Yet you are the only one she ever thinks of. I tried so many ways to heal her as the original plot intended, to make her open her heart to me, but I could never do it. His voice caught. Gu Qinghan broke down many times, but she never came to me. Not once. Instead, she would often clutch her painting and hide in this house to cry in secret. I was furious then. "So I stole your painting and took it to the auction. But I never expected Gu Qinghan to pay 10 million to buy it back. Only then did I realize that perhaps from the start, I never stood a chance." Every word struck my heart like a blow, numbing the deepest part of my heart. For a moment, I did not know what to say. "I drugged you in a moment of impulse. Even now, I am still sorry. Jiang Han wiped at the corner of his eyes and bowed to me. That is why I am taking you away this time. To make amends. After hearing him out, I was silent for a while. There is no need. I know better than anyone what it is like to be driven mad by the mission system. Jiang Han was forced to pursue someone he did not love, while I was forced to part from the person I loved. We had both suffered under our missions, and Jiang Han had not caused any real harm. I had no interest in holding it against him. I only hoped he could return to his true self in the new world, seeing that I would not hold him accountable. Jiang Han seemed choked up. After he softly said, "Thank you." A faint light appeared. Jiang Han's figure gradually blurred. At the very last moment, he suddenly turned back and said, "Oh, right? There is something I did not say earlier. The reason this is the weakest point is because Gu Qinghan's emotions fluctuate most strongly here." Jiang Han recalled something he had witnessed one day. Gu Qinghan, who was cold and distant before others, was inside this rundown little house, gazing at a painting for a long time. So long she seemed like a statue. Just as he grew bored and was about to leave, he unexpectedly caught a glint of tears. Gu Qinghan was crying. She cried without a sound, but her eyes were red. She seemed to be desperately suppressing her pain. Perhaps from that moment on, Jiang Han knew he could never succeed in his mission. After Jiang Han left, I was still dazed. Gu Qinghan had actually cried. From our first meeting to our reunion, 8 full years, I had never seen her shed a single tear. Whether her parents sold her, or when I betrayed her, her eyes had only ever reddened. Perhaps because of that, I always thought she was invincible. I never imagined the ruthless heroine of this novel would hide away and cry in secret. In my days, I suddenly realized that dawn had come without my noticing. I had also reached the gates of a villa. Though I was still far away, I could still see Gu Qinghan standing at the entrance. She was tall and slender, yet she kept her head lowered. She looked so inexplicably lonely and fragile. Gu Qinghan had actually waited all night because of one promise from me. I could not hold back any longer and ran toward her. Gu Qinghan, she jerked her head up. For the first time, her eyes held undisguised shock and the joy of having me back. I threw myself into her arms, my eyes burning as I spoke. Gu Qinghan, I am back. When Gu Qinghan was 15, her parents sold her. A woman holding a little girl stopped before her and looked down as she threatened her. "Sweetheart, look at her. This is what happens when you disobey. If you are not good from now on, I will sell you too." The little boy took one look at the battered Gu Qinghan and burst into terrified sobs. But Gu Qinghan remained expressionless. She did not think it was frightening. Since the day she was born, her gambling-addicted parents took their anger out on her, abusing and insulting her at will. But after venting their rage, they would often hold Gu Qinghan and weep bitterly. "Qinghan, Mom and Dad really do love you. We just cannot control ourselves sometimes." Young Gu Qinghan was confused. Did love mean being beaten and cursed at? Then she did not want that so-called love. She only wanted to survive. So, being sold did not matter, as long as she did not stay with her parents. So, when the audience looked her over like merchandise and mocked her without restraint, Gu Qinghan felt nothing at all. Those words were not a tenth as vicious as her parents. Her heart had long since gone still. Even so, when I rushed forward anxiously, grabbed Gu Qinghan's hand, and shouted, "I've bought her." Her eyes widened slightly in astonishment. She thought, why buy me? Was it because my life was worthless and I would be easier to order around? Still, that was only natural. Once she was bought, she belonged to him. He could kill or maim her as he pleased. Would any fool actually care for someone he had bought? At first, that was what Gu Qinghan believed. But after they spent more time together, Gu Qinghan discovered that I really was that fool. I would flash a dashing smile, looking completely at ease, and say, "Call me brother. From now on, I will protect you." But when Gu Qinghan actually called me brother, I choked several times. I coughed so hard that even my earlobes turned red. All right, just say it normally. Do not say it so clingily. Gu Qinghan could not help laughing. For the first time, she realized someone could be so adorable. But in the days that followed, this boy named Gu Xingheng really did protect her like an older brother. Though I was dirt poor, I always gave her the best of everything. When the hypnotic side effects gave her a headache, I would rush her to the best hospital overnight. Then I would softly sing her a lullaby and paint her a picture. Gu Qinghan called me a fool in her heart, but accepted the painting with utmost care. Her earlobes burning hot. For someone who had never known love, every small kindness was a slow poison, gradually seeping into her bones. It was more unforgettable than the love her parents gave her. The day I left, Gu Qinghan felt as if she might suffocate. The agony in her heart spread through every limb, keeping her awake all night. She did not know what she had done wrong to make me leave without looking back for 5 years. She did not know where I had gone either, or how I could vanish without a word for 5 years. Gu Qinghan searched every corner of the city, but apart from our home at 36 Wutong Road, there was no trace of me anywhere in the world. So she often went there to cry in secret, as if By doing so, I might suddenly appear and pat her head as I used to. Do not cry. I'm back now, aren't I? But I never did. All she got was Jiang Han. Gu Qinghan had no interest in Jiang Han at first, until she heard what the system said to him. Host, Gu Xingheng has completed his mission. Gu Qinghan must be devastated now. If you show her even a little kindness, you can use this chance to save her and become the only light in her life. Gu Xingheng. The instant she heard that name, Gu Qinghan stopped in her tracks. After that, Gu Qinghan grew much closer to Jiang Han. Many people in their circle speculated that President Gu was usually cold and aloof, and this was the first time she approached a man herself. She had to be in love with the Jiang family's eldest son, but only Gu Qinghan knew. She only wanted to overhear Jiang Han's talks with the system. As they spent more time together, Gu Qinghan gradually pieced everything together. She was the female lead in a novel. Jiang Han was meant to be her lover, and Gu Xingheng, was merely a supporting character sent to win her over, one who had now left this world for good. During that time, Gu Qinghan felt despair like never before. Her methods grew even more ruthless and merciless, making every business rival tremble in fear. But then one day, she heard the system's anxious voice. This is bad. This is bad. Why has the heroine's corruption level skyrocketed? At this rate, the whole world will collapse. Only the one who caused this can fix it. Host, we should bring Gu Xingheng back. Jiang Han hesitated again and again, but finally bit his lip and agreed. Fine, since I cannot win Gu Qinghan over, then let that person come back. She could not describe how she felt in that moment. Joy, unease, and madness fused together, surging into her heart at once. That day, Gu Qinghan prepared for two possibilities. If I did not return, she would hold my only painting and detonate herself in the flames. She would burn herself and my painting into ashes, until no one could tell us apart. So, we would be together in a way. But if I came back, she would never let me go. Fortunately, just as she took out the device she had prepared to blow herself up, I arrived in time. Across 5 years of separation, I shouted at her, "Don't move." I only learned later that after the banquet on the night I returned, Jiang Han went to see Gu Qinghan. Han, I really think you wasted 10 million on that painting. You did it, didn't you? Gu Qinghan cut him off coldly. You stole my painting and sent it to the auction. Jiang Han froze. He opened his mouth, seemingly about to explain, but Gu Qinghan turned and walked away. I can hear your conversations with the system. Don't lie to me. Since you and the system helped me so much, I won't hold it against you this time. Then she looked at the disbelieving Jiang Han, her voice cold as ice. But there won't be a next time. After she left, Jiang Han's tearful voice came from behind her. Gu Qinghan, do you think you can keep that brother of yours, the man sent to win you over? Mission takers can travel between worlds. If he doesn't want to stay, no one can force him to. If your corruption level hadn't skyrocketed and nearly destroyed this world, do you think Gu Xingheng would willingly come back for you? Stop dreaming. Who would want to win over an unstable lunatic? Your self-righteous love will only make Gu Xingheng suffer every second. Jiang Han's words gave Gu Qinghan much to think about. She later told me she drank a great deal that night and kept wondering whether her love for me was a cage and a shackle. Whether, when I was forced to win her over, I had truly suffered. She had planned to keep me locked up for life, no matter what. But that night, for reasons she could not explain, she unlocked every door in the house. She said that rather than spare herself pain, she didn't want me to suffer. So she gave the choice back to me. After Jiang Han called me away, he did say those words meant to shake my resolve. Meanwhile, Gu Qinghan leaned alone against the front door and waited. The night was truly endless. The oppressive darkness held not a trace of light. She later said that she suddenly felt as though she could not breathe. Her mind was filled with one thought. What if I didn't come back? What if I deceived her again and went to another world? She said there seemed to be no other way. All she could do was stand there and wait. This night was so long, as if it would never end, just like the last 5 years. Long enough to drive someone mad with despair. Gu Qinghan. Once I had settled things with Jiang Han and hurried back, I found her looking utterly distraught. I couldn't help shouting her name. She jerked her head up, only then realizing that dawn had come. Bathed in brilliant light, I stumbled into her arms. Gu Qinghan trembled as she hugged me back. Her grip gradually tightened, as though she wanted to fuse me into her very bones. Thankfully, this time was different from 5 years ago. She finally waited for the person she loved. Wait, I looked at Gu Qinghan, who had climbed into my bed without permission, with a headache coming on. Why aren't you asleep in the middle of the night? What are you doing in my bed? It had been nearly a week since Gu Qinghan and I confessed our feelings to each other. I truly couldn't figure her out. Before we got together, Gu Qinghan was always obsessively possessive, locking me up and losing her mind. But once we were together, she became almost shy and innocent instead. Blushing, she slept in a separate bed from me for several days. Just as I thought Gu Qinghan didn't like being close to others, she suddenly appeared beside me in the middle of the night, startling me. Gu Qinghan lowered her lashes, looking a little aggrieved. I remember when we were little, you were willing to hold me while we slept, Brother, why can't you now that I'm grown? How is that the same? I looked at Gu Qinghan's tall, graceful figure, and fell silent. I understand. Gu Qinghan nodded. It seems you only like the little me, brother. If only I could be younger again. Then you'd be willing to sleep with me. Don't make me sound like I have some strange fetish. Besides, maybe it was just my imagination. But why did Gu Qinghan sound so deliberately sweet and helpless? I barely kept a straight face and pretended to be calm. Stop talking nonsense. Tell me, what do you really want from me in the middle of the night? Gu Qinghan still seemed heartbroken. She ignored my question entirely. Her voice soft, pitiful, and innocent. Though I can't become little again now, and can't make you like me, brother, we can have a little me together. How did this conversation go so far off track? When she saw my face turn scarlet, Gu Qinghan couldn't help laughing. Only then did she turn serious. Don't you remember what day it is today, brother? I shook my head in confusion. The light in Gu Qinghan's eyes dimmed. You never care about me, brother. Seeing her like that, I couldn't help kissing her cheek. I was teasing you. I really do remember. Don't be angry. A flicker of delight flashed through Gu Qinghan's eyes, but she still insisted. I'm not angry. How could I ever be angry with you? I smiled. Is that so? Have you really never been angry with me? No. My voice softened. When I left last time, how did you feel? I hadn't said which time I meant, but we both understood. Gu Qinghan looked up at me, her eyes utterly sincere. Of course, I was worried about you. I froze, and she continued. You suddenly vanished right before my eyes that day. Other than worrying myself nearly mad, I wasn't angry with you at all. What else could I have felt? My eyes suddenly stung, but I lied to you when I left. Aren't you angry? That question had weighed on me for a long time, like a poisoned thorn buried deep in my heart. Every time I saw Gu Qinghan, it filled me with guilt. So I couldn't help taking this chance to ask Gu Qinghan, pretending it meant nothing. As I anxiously awaited her answer, a warm touch suddenly brushed my eyelid. Gu Qinghan kissed my reddened eyelids. Her voice was impossibly gentle. I'm not angry. Whether you deceived me or not, the person who first pulled me out of the mud was truly you. The fact that you were willing to come to this world and save me already made me so happy. She gripped my hand tightly, intertwining her fingers with mine. I was just too greedy. I wanted you to stay with me for the rest of my life. My tears finally fell, but this time, my heart didn't hurt. Instead, an unprecedented warmth and bittersweet ache welled up inside me. I wiped away my tears. Okay. As I spoke, I stepped aside, revealing the exquisite cake hidden behind me. Gu Qinghan froze. I gently brushed my hand over its 24 candles and said earnestly, Gu Qinghan, happy birthday. I never forgot that today is your birthday. Seeing Gu Qinghan remain stunned for a long while, I smiled and teased her. What is it? Don't you like this gift? Gu Qinghan finally lifted her head. The adult woman before me was bathed in warm candlelight. Her sharply defined features seemed slightly blurred. For an instant, it was as though she had returned to years ago. The regret left unfinished at her coming-of-age ceremony that year was finally made whole in this moment. The 18-year-old girl, love surging in her eyes, spoke across time and space. No, I really love it. The next moment, she softly added, and I